Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Chaos Roundup for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Now, this week we actually only have one event to talk about, and that's the Chaos for Act 2, Chapter 8 in the story. And quite honestly, I mean, you'll see basically with the clear that I've done that I've tried to showcase the power of a particular team more than anything, but I am going to go through some alternative tactics with you, let you guys know what sort of things you need to look out for in this fight and how to approach it the best way possible. So if that's something that you're interested in, then stay tuned and keep on watching. Don't forget everyone to check out all of my social media links in the description box below, including Twitter, Twitch and Discord. And now this weekend on Twitch I'm actually going to be streaming another 12-hour long stream, but this time it's going to be for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. So if you guys play that game, if you want to come and join in with the stream as well, I want it to be really chill and I want to try and spread as much positivity as I can during these really difficult times for everybody. So it'd be really lovely if you guys would want to come along and support the channel with new endeavours. As I said, I wanted to kind of do new things and break away from just mobile gaming a little bit, and it's been wonderful having you guys support when it comes to that because the channel's actually doing really well. So if you guys want to come down for that and even play with me as well, if you happen to be on the Omega server for FF14, then that would be amazing. And of course there is my Patreon channel as well, where you could get yourself a bespoke title card made just for you to be put at the end of every single one of my videos and for you to share around to everybody that you know for this cool Final Fantasy type thing that you've never maybe had before. And of course during every video I also shout out a random patron that supports the channel further to show my appreciation and my thanks to everyone that comes along for that. And this time around that's going to be Jacob0876, who's been really supportive in my Twitch channel recently and has actually given me some ideas for some Opera Omnia stuff that I hadn't really thought about before that should be really exciting, and it's something that I am looking at planning into the future. So if you guys want to come and join in on that, then again, there's Twitch, there's Patreon, and there's all that other good stuff too. And of course, don't forget to check out all of the other content creators for Opera Omnia. There are loads of us, and we all appreciate all the love that we can get during these times, and so definitely go and check out everybody else as well as me. Now, as I said earlier, there's actually only an event that we actually have to look at this week, and that's going to be the Chaos mission for Act 2, Chapter 8 in the story. Now, before we talk about the monsters or the characters that we use, you can actually do this mission as a co-op event, which I actually chose to do so that I could showcase the ability to do so and how much easier it makes it for everybody. And before the veteran players go off and say, oh, you're using a busted team, yes I am. And the reason that we're using it is because I want to showcase just how damn powerful this is and to kind of fight against the notion that if you have one that you don't need the others. But a big shout out to SSJGodPenelo and SaltTeaSpice, who have been regulars within my Twitch streams for helping me with this mission so that I can showcase just how powerful it is and just how significant having like 2 extra summons is, and having like not having to worry quite so much about having 3 characters and only actually having to have 1. So if you're struggling with this Chaos mission, honestly, just do it co-op. It will make it 10 times easier for you. But going into the monsters themselves, the first wave you have a Skull Wizard and a Skull Dragon. Now the Skull Dragon doesn't do anything particularly scary. The only thing it can really do is it has a move that delays by a turn, and it has a move which is Crushing Fangs, which will instantly break whichever character he's attacking, but he doesn't necessarily do an HP attack straight after it. So as long as you've got a decent Brave Shave, then you really shouldn't have to worry about the Skull Dragon. The Skull Wizard, however, likes to buff himself quite a lot, and then after the phrase Brazenly It Smirks comes along, now I have PTSD from this back from the first Kefka event, if anyone remembers that, but it'll use a very large HP attack called Candle in the Wind, which comes out of nowhere and can instantly one-shot one of your party members. Now the way that you can get around this is, there's multiple ways you can get around it, and I'll talk about it more with the characters, but you can either dodge it, you can lower its attack, or you just like make sure that you can heal off whatever damage that it deals, because it will deal a large amount. But attack debuffing, or at least getting rid of its attack buff, will help mitigate that damage somewhat. But honestly, you shouldn't really have too much difficulty with this way, provided you're cautious of the Candle in the Wind attack. After that, it's just a case of making sure that that they go down in a decent number of turns. And in the second wave, we have the Demon Wall, which is the primary boss of this particular boss. Now, as you can see with the team that we've got here, Aranea, Leo, and Vayne, despite the fact that the Demon Wall resists Vayne's magic-based EX attack, it does not matter. This guy does not get a turn from at all. But without the cheese strategies of just making it so that it never gets a turn at all, the only things you really want to be worrying about are its limit break attack, which is like the gauge underneath its health bar to show that it's got a chargeable attack, because it really, really hurts very, very hard if you're not careful. Think of it like Candle in the Wind, but for your whole party. It will raise its bravery up pretty high, then it will do an AoE brave attack, and then HP attack on all three of them. If this attack breaks one of your characters, it will very likely kill at least one of your characters, so be very, very cautious of this particular attack. But luckily, you can see it coming, so you can prepare for it. Now, the things that you don't want to bring, before I go into any characters that you do not want to bring any magic-based characters to this fight. So even if you're looking at a defensive character like Beatrix, because her attacks are magic-based, this thing like resists it, so it'll just do nothing. And you don't want to bring any holy or dark-based characters. So as much as I love him, Paladin Cecil's not going to do me very well here, because he absorbs holy and dark damage. So definitely don't bring any characters like that. But he's also got immunity to defense down as well, so having ways around defense down, as we do in this particular team composition of Leo, Aranea and Vayne, you've got Concentrated Strike and Vital Crusher, which are essentially defense downs but not named defense down, so you're actually doing pretty well there. And then it can also inflict stone, like if it's left to its own devices for too long, so just be very cautious of that as well. In terms of the characters that you can bring along to this, obviously I've shown off like Leo, Aranea and Vayne because I wanted to show off just how powerful this team actually is. Loads of people said to me when I've recommended pulling for either Vayne or Leo, oh no, I don't need to pull for them because I have Aranea. It's like, no, you could argue that, but why not use all three or use at least two of them? Because it trivializes a lot of content, like a lot, including this mission. Like you can see, like if I actually have all three of these characters, so I could do this alone, but even with a co-op, having 3 summons on top of this, you should not have an issue with this fight if you use that particular strategy. A lot of people, however, don't want to use that strategy because it's too easy, because it really is. Like I said, if you're watching this fight, the demon will like barely if ever gets a turn at all, and it's only the first wave of Candle in the Wind which you have to worry about at all taking any damage, but because Leo has HP regen, you don't even have to worry about that all too much. But what you want to bring is maybe like if you need healing in your party somewhere along the line. So obviously in my particular case here we have Leo, but you want to bring non-magic based healers. So equally, characters like Penelo and Ignis will also work very well here because they're not magic based, therefore they can still deal some damage, but if they've got healing in their kit, it's going to be very, very important just to ward off all those regular HP attacks it does, because it has a Demon Slash as well, which is a 3-hit brave HP attack that it uses pretty regularly, so you want to ward that off as well. And then obviously its limit attack is going to be really scary, and you want to deal with Candle in the Wind in the first wave. And then you could also look at bringing debuffers with you, but the only debuffers that I'd probably recommend here would be Lilithset, because obviously she's a synergy character, and she does really well. She has attack down, she has sap. She basically makes it so that the damage that the enemies deal is much, much less. So obviously that's going to be really good for her. Or Faris is another option as well, because not only does she have attack down, she has Brave Overflowed on her, as well as she's very similar to Lilithset, but she's not quite so battery heavy. So bringing... Obviously, Lilithset is the prime candidate, but being a synergy character, having battery, being able to heal herself if you've realised her EX, having Brave Overflow, she's kind of got everything you need for this fight, which is really useful. And then otherwise, having some form of tanking or evasion or HP damage evasion is going to be really, really helpful here. So Galoof is obviously the primary character here because he's the synergy character, so if you have him, by all means take him. He will just deal with a lot of stuff. Like if he's making it so that the Skull Wizard in the first wave is targeting him, then you really won't have to worry about the Skull Wizard pretty much at all. And then in the second wave, if you're dealing with the Demon Wars Brave HP AoEs, then you're not going to take nearly as much damage because Galoof is just dodging them entirely. Alternatively, you could use Edge instead of Galoof because his attacks are ranged, so you don't have to worry about the resistance towards magic. He has that a ridiculous amount of evasion for himself and his party. He has a bit of battery on him. The only problem you might have is that Edge's damage could be a little bit higher, and the Demon Wall has a lot of health, so that's something that you may want to think about depending on whether you want to take Edge or not, but that evasion is extremely valuable. But so that's, I mean, there's what, like 6 or 7 characters there other than Vayne, Aranea and Leo that I've spoken about, but quite honestly, taking a team of 3 delay characters, all of which do insane amounts of damage, these 3 characters support each other so well. Because Aranea's Vital Crusher makes Leo's Master Strike stronger, Vayne's attack-based auras combined with Leo's auras and HP regens and max Brave auras make it so that all of your character's stats are really high. Leo makes up for the fact that you don't have a battery or support unit because he actually does battery characters and he's stronger, and Shock does a ridiculous amount of damage when it's single target. Honestly, if you haven't already at least looked at pulling at the Leo and Galuf banner, then I would very heavily recommend you do so, because both of those characters are exceptional and they will serve you for a long time. And honestly, even if you just have Leo and you don't have Aranea or Vayne, or you want to make this as easy as possible for yourself, take your Leo, go into a co-op, and then just find other people that do, because there will be other people out there that have those characters, because a lot of us have pulled for at least one, if not all three of those characters. So I just wanted to showcase just how powerful having those three characters in a single party composition can be, because this Demon Wall didn't even look at me the wrong way. So that's actually it for this week. We only had the one event to really look at, so it's a bit of a quiet week for Opera Omnia this week, but hopefully everyone was fortunate in getting their Leos, their Galifs, or just clearing the Chaos missions with whichever characters you guys have. Do let me know in the comments below who you used for this event, if you used any characters other than the ones I've stated, or if you used a party composition like I've suggested, depending on which characters you have available to you. And then obviously I've got loads coming up next week as well. We've got X-Death's event, and we've got Fran's Lost Chapter, and I actually have a little something special planned for next week's videos and streams and stuff, so hopefully you'll have something to look forward to there. And then obviously I'll be online pretty much every day on Twitch. I've been on a lot over the past couple of weeks, and honestly, my audience, you guys have been absolutely incredible, and I'm so thankful to you all. And I did also want to point out that I have actually broken over 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I didn't think was going to happen after obviously I left YouTube for 4 months or whatever it was, and then like came back with my tail between my legs. So thank you ever so much to everyone that has subscribed to this channel. Obviously, I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you haven't been a subscriber for a long time, or if you've never looked at one of my videos before. Like the video and definitely click that bell for notifications, because it helps me out as a content creator massively. Anyways, that's going to be it from me. Thank you ever so much again for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.